cancel the contract was there,
Hmm.
and they are asking that the sheriff don't be at schools, and they present a report that was came from, I think, from the same commission, in which they indicate that in Lancaster there are some issues with the sheriff, and I was wondering, but well, but that was the point, that they say we don't want sheriffs at the schools for disciplinary actions. And then, but there was another participant that said, "Do you know the issue is also that parents are not being responsible now for children?" And then a third person say about teachers. No, there are some teachers that they are still racist, and they don't want to pay attention. Any little problem, and they call the sheriffs. They remove the telephone, and they create a conflict. And I was wondering, shouldn't be so good to have cameras in the classroom that everybody knows that the camera is there. Then I believe that maybe that was going to help, like to behave better. No, like if you have a camera there, and
Hmm.
I'm going to try to appear really good, and teachers, students, everybody. Some other people was saying the problems are the students now, because it's so terrible, the situation in the classroom. Nobody pay attention. They do whatever they want, and then another, no, the parents sometimes bring the children, and the children come to the school smelling marijuana. So you can see that there are so many factors
Hmm.
in this situation to resolve it. It's not going to be easy. Tell us, what do you think about
Well, as a retired principal, I can tell you that all of these issues and all of these concerns are very real, and uh, there would not be any sheriff closer to school if we hadn't had the experience of needing them there. Uh, there are challenges in the classroom between teachers and students. There are challenges with getting good, solid people to teach. There are challenges with kids who come to school who don't have adequate parentage, if you will. And all of these things are, unfortunately, a part of the daily life of the principal, who has to manage as best they can all of these various scenarios that you just highlighted. And, there's just the human element, and the quality of leadership has much to do with the situation and the circumstances. You can't wish away issues and concerns that crop up, but you can manage them effectively or ineffectively, and that management, I think, is critical. To say we don't need any law enforcement connected with schools, well, that's pretty tough, because I've been in situations where law enforcement was very important, very important to have, um, and so uh, you know, cancel the contract doesn't work for me as a principal. Um, However, I do see that if my child went to school and wasn't acting appropriately, but rather than to be counseled and 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 modified in the direction they should go in, to call the police and have them slam danced is a whole nother situation. That's overreaction to a situation that could have been managed differently. But the thing is when if an administrator calls law enforcement to come to the school, or to or law enforcement is there and they call for them to execute law enforcement, then once the law enforcement starts, then that it's their situation. It's no longer a school issue. It becomes then a legal issue, and that's a tricky situation to bring into your school. It's not something you should do freely or nor quickly. It's something that you should avoid at all costs. Actually,
Bueno, estábamos hablando como en la junta esta hubo la participación de muchos actores, ¿no? Y algunos hablaron de varios factores, porque la organización de Cancel the Contract no quiere que el departamento del sheriff esté involucrado en la disciplina de los estudiantes, sino que sea simplemente el staff. Dice, mira, yo como con mi experiencia como director de varias escuelas, te puedo decir que a veces es estrictamente necesario llamar al sheriff para que se haga cargo de la situación. Dice, pero obviamente hay muchos otros factores, también hay este, eh, personas que no tienen experiencia y que llaman al sheriff anticipadamente, pero a veces la manera de disciplinar porque no hay la suficiente cooperación o no hay suficiente esfuerzo de todos los otros actores, de los padres, para que estos jóvenes se comporten, pues entonces es la única opción. Y dice, y obviamente cuando los traes, pues ya que entra el sheriff, ahí ya se convierte en una cuestión de tipo legal, en donde además ya la escuela no puede intervenir porque ya está fuera de sus manos el asunto. Pero sin duda alguna, son muchos factores los que inciden en este tipo de cosas, y hay también maestros sin la experiencia que llaman anticipadamente para la intervención del